you, you'll have a dog tag that basically tells that player, yeah, that guy was kind of aggressive, and here's what the cost of that bounty is because you managed to kill someone who's aggressive. That's that simple there. It also tracks the behavior. It's not going to penalize you for retaliation.
Ты ж, блядь.
I watched that a little bit. I should have just, I don't know. For 3ADS, but that's just boring.
So if you end up getting shot first and then you end up killing the other person in back, it's not going to negatively harm your reputation. It'll only impact that player if they manage to kill you for being the aggressor. So it kind of keeps that in check, which is cool. But then that specific one, once you've done enough aggro beyond that, bump it from being a bounty to being most wanted. And that's where it really gets interesting. As a neutral player, not the most wanted, you can actually pay for intel to find out if anyone in the match is most wanted. Once you do this, notify you where they are on the map, and you can choose to hunt them down for a reward. And if you're the most wanted, you'll know that you're most wanted and you're likely going to be hunted and you'll have to defend yourself. And again,
I can't match with it. Probably shouldn't have won that. It's funny. It has 4 attachments. Right. These can supersede size. Still shit. Slow gameplay and easy pace. And toilet. Oh, no way someone's stealing my truck, bro. And he stole the most. I swear to see that nigga. Is that He found my gun. This is the guy that was driving the truck. Gang. I literally didn't know what it was. Thank God it was an actual bot. I hope there's an AI in this game. I need to I'm trying to chat so they can tell me. Oh shit.
Again, the person doing the hunting will not have any negative behavior on their character because they're just cleaning up the server, taking out the aggro players that have a manhunt. So if you want to be the Batman of the server and take down the bad guys that are out hunting PvP, you can do that. You can PvP, but for the good guys and go that route. So it's a little different dynamic. What'll end up happening is the longer someone stays most wanted, and again, like I said, this carries over from match to match to match. So if you go the full match and they're still super aggro, killing everyone they see, hunting down players, the most wanted level will just continue to rise. And not only will it rise, the bounty will increase. And that number can get incredibly large. I don't think there's a cap on that number. And the number can be so competitive that there will be a leaderboard for both people that are on the manhunt leaderboard and the hunter leaderboard. So if you're somebody that wants to track down the most wanted all the time, your points will increase and you're going to rack points up on that leaderboard. If you just like PvPing and you don't mind, take on the heat, that you'll go ahead and earn a spot on that most wanted leaderboard. If you happen to die, you'll fall off that leaderboard, and that's unfortunate. You lose out on that spot. And these leaderboards will have rewards, I believe, that reset weekly. So you'll have a weekly like who can actually get the most wanted, the highest possible, and then you got to stay alive. And then if you like to play aggressive with some players, you can have your manhunt squad and swap operators if you want to just do your mission. So you get the flexibility to swap between operators with different skill sets, with different friends, and that wanted level is tied, or that reputation is tied to that specific operator, which I think's very cool system. I don't think any other game has done that. Maybe you can wise me up to that if I'm wrong on that, but I can't recall a system that worked and functioned like that and carried over. Super aggro, killing everyone they see, hunting down players. The most wanted level will just continue to rise. And not only will it rise, the bounty will increase. And that number can get incredibly large. I don't think there's a cap on that number. And the number can be so competitive that there will be a leaderboard for both people that are on the manhunt leaderboard and the hunter leaderboard. So if you're somebody that wants to track down the most wanted all the time, your points will increase and you're going to rack points up on that leaderboard. If you just like PvPing and you don't mind, take on the heat, that you'll go ahead and earn a spot on that most wanted leaderboard. If you happen to die, you'll fall off that leaderboard, and that's unfortunate. You lose out on that spot. And these leaderboards will have rewards, I believe, that reset weekly. So you'll have a weekly like who can actually get the most wanted, the highest possible, and then you got to stay alive. And then if you like to play aggressive with some players, you can have your manhunt squad and swap operators if you want to just do your mission. So you get the flexibility to swap between operators with different skill sets, with different friends, and that wanted level is tied, or that reputation is tied to that specific operator, which I think's very cool system. I don't think any other game has done that. Maybe you can wise me up to that if I'm wrong on that, but I can't recall a system that worked and functioned like that and carried over from match to map and was persistent. So it's a very cool, gonna create some emergent like gameplay that they didn't plan for, and people are gonna get very creative on different scenarios and how to weave doing your task with the AI with these systems in place, which is very cool to have a leaderboard system in place. I believe it'll be top 50 per, and that'll be very, very cool. So a lot of systems there. We're gonna get a ton more before launch, but it really comes down to like, will DMZ finally have some staying power that it didn't have initially? And I think a lot has changed since that first DMZ beta came out. I've always been a fan of the extraction shooter genre. I first had my experience, even though it wasn't really an extraction shooter, which is the Division's Dark Zone back in 2016. This isn't a new genre. It was a great experience. They did have this rogue system that looks like that might have been the inspiration for the bounty system to see how it fits into COD. That was my experience with it. I think a lot of people's first experience with it is probably Arc Raiders, and that kind of opened people to the genre even further because prior to basically Arc Raiders, there wasn't a popular mainstream extraction shooter, multi-platform, multi-crossplay, multi-peripheral. They didn't work on controller. Call of Duty's gonna work on controller. Got that taken care of. It's gonna be cross-play, cross progression, cross everything. So it will be available on all platforms. So it has that mainstream appeal and access that Arc Raiders also had, and there's not that many games there. And this time around, it looks like they're coming to hit out of the park by being on Xbox, PlayStation, PC, everything, and it works natively on all those things. You don't have to do any kind of workarounds, which is a huge advantage in the genre that other games just don't do. It's like Tarkov's amazing, very hardcore, but you'll never play it on controller and on console. It's just not how the game will work, and that you kind of restrict yourself. One of the biggest concerns, in my opinion, is going to be the price, because it's going to be tied to
my days. Now I gotta fucking wait like 10 minutes for another game.
Modern Warfare, it is truly baked into Modern Warfare versus the original DMZ beta. Since it was a beta the whole year, it was free to play. I think that could be a little bit prohibitive because you're paying $70 for the new COD, which includes the campaign. I trust that IW is going to make a good campaign. So you have that probably 7-8 hours tops.
Yeah,
multiplayer looking good, but we got to see the systems. They've looked good in 2019, but a lot of the systems worked against it. But if you like multiplayer, then you're getting that baked in. And then you're going to have DMZ, the extraction shooter, which is a fully built out game that will have some cross progression systems all baked in. But if someone only wants to play an extraction shooter, that $70 is a big ask, considering Arc Raiders is on the top end there at $40. They have a lot to do between now and when this mode launches, because DMZ, is it just going to be an extraction mode that happens to be in COD? Or is it going to be the extraction mode that like people want to play and they don't care where it is? They just want to play it, be a part of it. There's a little bit of fear of missing out of how cool it's going to be. Same thing with the Battle Royale. When COD made their Battle Royale, obviously they got a good time with COVID, but Warzone was a very good game. And it still is a pretty good game relative to the random BRs that just don't last. And it'll be also to like figure out, once you got people in, it's like, how do you keep them going? Are the bosses interesting enough? How did the dynamic weather recipe system work? Is there going to be resets? Arc Raiders ran into an issue where they were pumping out content. They couldn't keep up. And now they're on like a 6-month, like twice a year update. So they're not going to get an update until October. Like that is pretty scary for your game. Call of Duty usually does. Every 2 months you get a major update, or like a bigger update. Maybe not major, annually I would consider a major update. I think it'll clearly be bigger than the beta, even though that was free. But there's so much cool stuff in there that I think if they really just deliver, it'll be what I initially like hoped for DMZ when it first came out. And I played that beta and I locked in. I got that rose skin. People have been following the channel for a while. You'll know that I basically use the rose skin in pretty much every video. And I have been using it forever, unless the game automatically switches me. You know how that is sometimes. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys hyped for it? I'm pretty excited for it. But we'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.
WJ God. Leon is divorced again in 22.
Victim number 4. I recently started streaming in which my platform talks about unifying. Shout out to the gentleman right here, the realist on YouTube, bro. You ain't never lied. Shout out to Dylander supporting the work. Appreciate you. So the gentleman comes in via Wisdom and he writes, "Hey Marquette, I just did a debate with Myron at UCLA. I'm victim number 4. I recently started streaming in which my platform talks about unifying our people and heightening our people's awareness in politics, foods, and health. Can you give me pointers on what to work on in debates like that? Also, can we have a chat as well? It was my very first debate." So good questions. So number 1, I personally don't recommend anyone get into live streaming. I think that's a fake job. I recommend people build real skills. They learn actual trades or they get advanced education. I don't recommend anyone become a live streamer. It's not a real job. The internet is fickle. The payouts are inconsistent, and you're in a competitive environment where everyone's trying to do it. I would much, like my own son, if I had a son, I would say, if he said, "Hey, I want to become a live streamer or a plumber," I'd be like, go with plumbing. I want to become a live streamer or an electrician, go with electrician. That's number 1. As a man especially, you should want to have a skill, a real skill. Number 2, when you ask for debate tactics, I have a course called the Master Communicator course. It talks about all aspects of communication. It specifically has lessons on public speaking, and it also specifically has lessons on debate and debate tactics. So I recommend that you check that out. And to everyone watching, damn it, I didn't even start recording this, but I'll record this now. Sorry. You on Rizm.com, you send back a voice memo so that they know the person that they sent the message to is actually the one responding as opposed to an assistant. Okay, recording this message. I already said it on live stream. You may be watching, but number one, congratulations on your debate with Myron. And in terms of like helping the people, I don't know if that's the appropriate thing at your stage in life. I don't know what your age is or what your stage in life is, and I also don't know who our people are. That would be something you'd have to define. With regards to live streaming, I don't recommend that as a profession. I recommend trades or you get advanced education to have a stable income. As far as debates go, I recommend the Master Communicator course. I have lessons there on public speaking, and I have 3 specific lessons on debate tactics. So that's where you'll get real value. It's broken down. You write also, can we have a chat as well? Well, probably not. And as much as we're strangers, if you've been to one of my events, then that would make more sense. Like say, yeah, sure. Or I'd say, come to my event. Like you want to meet people. You have to remember that like you're one of like thousands of people. So like that wouldn't make as much sense. And congrats on your success. Okay, great. Sent that out. And one thing I also want to remind everyone of is remember, you may feel that I'm familiar to you, but you have to remember that you're not familiar to me, right? So I'm talking right now, there's thousands of people listening. And I appreciate each and every one of you, literally each and every individual person listening. I truly appreciate you. But if I was like walking down the street, and just like yesterday, I was in a resort and some guy was staring at me so hard. I'm just thinking like, does bro need his teeth? He's like looking like he doesn't need his teeth. Like he can eat food with his gums or something. And then eventually after staring at me, bro's like, oh yeah, I listen to your content. I'm like, well then holla peace to the saints, man. Like say what's up. Like don't just stare at me like a weirdo. Cause you know, sometimes you might not get that chance to say, oh, I watch your content. Like when you're walking toward me after you've been staring at me, like I might tee off on you. Cause one, I'm an introvert. And number 2, I don't know you. And I'm from LA. We don't like stare at strangers. Like we don't do that. So remember, I don't know you, say peace to the saints, and then respect my time just as a man that has obligations just like any other man. So be realistic. Like, does it make sense for me, a stranger, to say, hey, let's have a chat? Why? I don't know your first name or last name. I don't know your legal name. I don't know your face. I don't know your skill set. I don't know anything about you. It's not a reasonable request. That's why I always encourage people to be serious men and to use emotional intelligence. And often when I put out product offerings,
Please let this be his first guy. Oh my god, shoot someone else, bro! Fuck off, man. Second.
Guarit.
Educational pieces, Boss University, Master Communicator course, how to create an app, create and monetize an app with AI, no coding experience necessary. I put out these things to lift people up, but I also sometimes put out products out of disgust. My Master Communicator course, I put out of disgust. I hate to hear people speak in ineffective ways, stuttering, stammering, like no impact to their communication. I put out Boss University because I hate peons. I hate beta males. I want people to all be bosses. I don't experience jealousy. I love to see people winning. And shout out to Draymond Green. I saw Draymond at Kevin Hart's roast. Brother was looking clean. I had to shoot him a DM like, yo, did you steal my suit? He hit me back like, nah, this was a fresh new design. I was like, well, you're looking great, man. Continued success. I love to see it. I like to see people winning. That's why I made Boss University, because I want people to get the cheat code. I want you to win. I don't want you trying to borrow money from me. I want you to have your own money. I want you to be confident because I don't want you to be jealous of me. I want you to be competing, not in the sense of
My god, bro, there's snipers everywhere in this fucking map, bro. Who is sniping at me now? Someone's sniping at me. That's weird.